We're going to talk about reliability now, and the question about reliability is, does the test give consistently accurate measurements? Again, let's go back to the thermometer. If you have a temperature of 98 1 minute and a temperature of 37 another minute, and then it's 102, we're in trouble. That is, the same person should have the same score each time the thermometer is inserted if the person's temperature stays the same. So again, the test is a thermometer. We're talking about consistency and stability of evaluation results. Now, reliability is a necessary but not sufficient condition for validity. That is, all tests need to be reliable, but tests can be reliable and still not be valid. We'll talk about this in class a little bit later. Reliability merely provides the consistency that makes validity possible. Okay, now reliability is actually a mathematical concept. You cannot talk about reliability in the abstract the way we talked about validity. We talk about a reliability coefficient. It is the correlation coefficient indicating the degree of relation between two sets of measures obtained from the same instrument or procedure. For example, the correlation between scores obtained from administrations of two forms of a test. Now here we have a desirable reliability, R. R is the correlation coefficient. We're looking for an R between 0.70 to the high 90s. Now here you just put everything into Excel. To calculate it, I will never ask you to calculate it. You either find it in the manual or else you put all of your scores in Excel and you press reliability coefficient and you get the score. The criteria for reliability, the consistency of testing procedures, and the constancy of pupil characteristics. Again, a good thermometer and a person with a stable temperature. If either of the two changes, then the reliability will change too. Or consistency over different samples of items. Again, the thermometer, if I take your temperature today at 4 o'clock and tomorrow at 4 o'clock and the next day at 4 o'clock, then I have different samples. Do you have the same temperature over time? Now, there are different methods of estimating reliability depending on the situation in which you find yourself. The most popular is test-retest. Everybody knows what that means. You give a person a test, then you teach something, and then you retest the students with the same test. The problem is, will they remember the test a week later or even a month later? So you can understand that if the students remember what the test was, then you're not testing understanding of the material, you're testing the memory of the student. Another kind of reliability is equivalent forms reliability. That is, parallel or alternate forms. For example, if you give a final exam, you have Moed Aleph, Moed Bet, Moed Gimel, Moed Dalet. Each of the tests has to be equivalent. Otherwise, it's not fair. If Moed Aleph is harder than Moed Bet, or Moed Bet is harder than Moed Gimel, then we're in trouble. Now, it is true that some teachers on purpose make one Moed harder than another, but that's not ethical. All alternate forms need to be of a similar difficulty. There's another way of checking reliability, and that is called split half. This is only possible if you have multiple choice questions, and a lot of them. If you have 100 questions, you can imagine that the first 50 are test A and the second 50 are test B. So we're talking about internal consistency, or you can check the odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7 against the even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8. In this case, in both cases here, we're looking at one exam, which is a very long exam, as if both halves were two different tests, and checking the reliability should be very high. Otherwise, there's something wrong with the test. And the way to calculate this, we look at the reliability of the full test as 2 times the correlation, the R, between the half tests over 1 plus the correlation between the half tests. You will never have to calculate it, but I just wanted to show you how it's done. There's also the Kuder-Richardson formula. Kuder-Richardson is a test of reliability, and again, Excel will have it. So here I have all these terms in Hebrew with a Hebrew translation as well. Okay.